Maritime Wrestling fans, welcome to another episode of You Missed Out. Hopefully the banner stays up this time. My guest is probably one of the busiest wrestlers in the Maritimes, Mr. Shane Stevens. Thanks for coming, buddy.
That's me.
This is Shane's second time, first person to do 2 appearances on this show.
I know people are going to think that we're in cahoots or something like that, but I had a big weekend and a lot to talk about. I have a lot to talk about. So.
Yeah. No, Shane contacted me this week, said, hey, I got these 2 high-profile matches. I'd like to talk about it, and I never turned down.
Then Kevin asked me, do you? So.
I never turned down anybody who wants to come on the show. So thanks for being here. Before we start, I just want to plug the new Chip Chambers shirt.
Chip Chambers.
The hottest item in Maritime Wrestling right now. The Chip Chambers new T-shirt, $20.
Go out and get you one.
Yeah. Contact him on Facebook, Twitter, however you got it, whatever you got to do.
Send him a smoke signal, carrier pigeon, message in a bottle. He responds to everything. Get a shirt.
Exactly. Great.
Special price for you, $20.
There you go. So, so definitely get this.
And it was a super busy weekend in Maritime Wrestling this weekend. Friday night in Member 2, you had the Wrestle Center show as well over in Stratford. Red Rock Wrestling had from what I hear, they had a fantastic show Friday night. So kudos to those guys. Great job. Wish I could have been there. Saturday was Halifax for Wrestle Center with Kurt Angle. Huge show.
Yep.
As well over in Newfoundland, my boys at NEW ran 2 shows on the Saturday. They did a matinee and an evening show with Marcus Burke winning the NEW Heavyweight Championship. Shown some love that way. I'm not sure if it was on the first show or the second show, but I know that the next day, on the Sunday, NEW ran a couple more shows, and Marcus Burke lost the NEW Championship back
to Steve Arsenault.
So,
yeah,
good for those guys. They had good attendance at all 3 or 4 of the shows. I think they ended up adding another show on Sunday, but if they didn't, I don't want to say that they did. But I saw pictures. Great attendance, so great job to Chili and all the boys over on The Rock. And I can't wait to get back over there and get screeched in this time.
I definitely want to say the same thing to Red Rock and NEW. I don't want you to feel like I'm leaving you guys out. There's so many shows this summer.
I bet you're regretting almost regretting doing a review show now. It's getting so busy.
Maritime Wrestling has blown up this year. This is the busiest year when it comes to wrestling, because when you include NEW they're doing 2 or 3 shows. When they do shows, they do 2 or 3 shows in the same weekend. You got IHW, who's doing more shows than they've ever done.
Yeah, they're going to a couple new towns this year.
Exactly. So they're doing more shows than they've ever done.
Truro being one of the shows.
We'll get to that for sure.
Yes.
Maritime Wrestling is blown up. I can't keep. I'm having trouble. I've got a full-time job and I'm planning a wedding, so it's
yes.
So it's
busy.
It's busy. So definitely don't feel like I'm leaving you guys out. I will. You guys will get some attention for sure.
We're here right now to talk about Member 2.
Absolutely.
Member 2 Wrestle Center show. That's why I'm here. I had a huge match that night,
Absolutely.
buddy. Huge match.
I don't want to cut you off. Before you get into that,
okay.
We are going to review the Member 2. We'll talk about Shane's match and the Member 2 card as a whole, Wrestle Center. The next night they did have a show in Halifax. I know I had announced that I was going to have JP Sims on. Just some circumstances happened that didn't happen, but I will be sitting down with JP Friday afternoon. I'll be talking to him, and we'll be reviewing the Halifax Wrestle Center card.
Right.
But today we're focusing on the Member 2 Wrestle Center card, and that's where my good friend Shane here comes in. Again, you might notice I don't have any questions written down. anybody who knows me,
we're just calling it out there today.
Shane and I are good friends. We talk wrestling all the time, so I didn't feel the need to really write anything down. We're just gonna shoot by the hip. So we'll start with your match with Mike Bailey.
Yeah, hell yeah, huge opportunity for me. If you type in Speedball Mike Bailey into YouTube, there's some interesting stuff comes up. The guy's pretty traveled, and just getting all kinds of exposure. He went down and did the Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, their huge, one of their huge tournament weekends in the summer. He went down and did that. Mexico, he went down and did a tour down there. I'm not sure how long it was, but the other guy's pretty traveled, pretty experienced, so coming into this was a really big opportunity for me, and I don't mind saying that I was pretty nervous coming into this match. I was just, wow, like, of what the guy can do.
Yeah.
I've seen what he can do, both firsthand on a Wrestle Center card, and what he can do, when he's working with some of the absolute best talent in the world.
Right.
So I've seen kind of both ends and in between of what he can do, and I was nervous about the match. I was looking forward to the match. I couldn't wait to get in there with him. And there was a point where I was like, no, I don't want to do it. I ran the gamut of emotions coming into that match, and then by the time that we got out there and started, dude, it almost, it's like, it was unlike any wrestling match I've ever had before. I thought Steve and I beat the hell out of each other when we wrestled in Wrestle Center. And not that Steve doesn't hit hard, this was just another level. And he knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I was there the night he crossed the threshold.
Yeah.
And completely changed his game up, and it was from one match. I feel that I had that match Friday night in Member 2 with Speedball Mike Bailey, that the people are going to see a different, a hungrier, more intense Shane Stevens.
Yeah.
I'm in it to win it now.
Yeah. I was not in Member 2, but when I went to the Halifax show, and when I was kind of just asking some of the regulars that come to the Register show if they had been to the Member 2 show, and they had been, and they pretty consensus across the board was that you and Speedball were the match of the night. Member 2.
Oh, thanks, man. I mean, obviously I'm in no position to say anything like that, especially on that card, and maybe we'll get to it.
Yeah.
Just, there was another match on that card, triple threat match, that I felt was maybe far and away better than ours. I just tried to go out there and work as hard as I could and do everything I could to literally to hang in there with that guy. He's one of the best strikers in the world. I don't care what anybody says about that he looks like a kid or whatever. He's got the baby face look to him or whatever. That guy's a legit Taekwondo black belt. Yeah. Right? And so, with that first kick, holy damn it. Like, whoa. Yeah. Holy damn it. He rung me up with an enziguri, and my fucking ears went, oh, like, whoa, that was a little much. But I hung in there, man. Yeah. I hung in there with him. Got a little shout out on Twitter and stuff from him, so, hey, cool. Yeah. Cool. And then hopefully, it turns out well on the old TV show. Yeah. Like
I said, I missed it, so I'm looking forward to watching it on Voltage, so I can actually see that match.
Me too.
Yeah, because I think it's gonna come off pretty good.
Thanks.
I've like I said, I want to say I've never seen a bad Mike Bailey match, but I don't think I've seen a bad Shane Stevens match either.
Oh, there's some that are not so good. And people will tell you, trust me. They will tell you.
Yeah. So the next night you were in a tag team match.
Yes.
With
impromptu tag
impromptu.
team match. It just kind of got called out of nowhere.
Yeah, with three of the, two of the Montreal crew and.
Yeah, there was a Montreal contingent
Yeah.
that came up for this weekend, and hey, they really helped out.
Yeah.
And I hope to maybe see them a little more regularly.
Absolutely,
A couple of them have been here over the years, all
Yeah.
kinds of times. One guy, it was his first time in here, and then another guy came from Montreal, not originally from there, but that's where he's at now.
Oh, yeah.
And got to mix it up with him a little bit.
Nice. So the tag team match was you and Jeremy Profit, who's, I think he's been to Wrestle Center maybe on one other time.
Once or twice he was there. We did I know he was there. And we did a Kentville show, and I'm.
Oh yeah,
he
I think
wrestled-
it was the second Kentville.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Did he wrestle Dylan?
I think so.
Yeah. I know there was one time he wrestled Dylan, and then he wrestled Steve as well one other time.
Yeah. So it was you two against Adam Bishop.
Yeah.
And ECW original, WCW, WWE superstar, Too Cold Scorpio.
Too cold. Too cold.
So what was it like being in the ring with?
It was an eye-opening experience. Yep, eye-opening experience. He can still go. Not that I ever thought that he couldn't or whatever. Like, whoa, he's still so good.
Yes.
Like, he's so good.
50 years old, and just didn't
didn't
seem to miss a step.
No, I didn't think so. Not at all. I again, like another thing, when it was brought up to me what I was going to be doing that night with, okay, and I had even less time to run that whole gamut of emotions that I had went through for the match the night before. Yeah. I had like a fraction of the time to process all of this information.
Yeah.
And so, whoa, what a eye-opening learning experience that was. And he hits just as hard, if not harder, than Mike Bailey. I got marks and bruises and stuff all over me. I can barely lift my arm above my head. Yeah, like we beat the hell out of each other all weekend long.
So I saw there was a picture that was posted on Facebook. I shared it on mine of you taking a backflip from Too Cold. You're laying in the middle of the ring.
I don't have internet at the moment, so I can't. I haven't seen it.
But
tag me in it if it's.
I will.
I
absolutely.
Tag me.
I absolutely will.
I'd like to see that.
But describe how it felt to be in the ring, about to take a backflip from Too Cold Scorpio.
Like what went through my head?
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, that's a. Oh God. Yeah. That's about it. I thought the same thing the night before when that backflip knee drop. Because he did it from like by my feet or like up by my in between my knees, and he did this backflip, double knee drop, and it looked like for a second he was coming right down on my face, dude. And I just went, oh no! And and that was probably the worst thing I could have done. Because he was so good with what he did that he came down right on my here and I didn't have my hands there. So yeah, he totally faked me out and got me on that one. Ow. Ouch. Yeah. Oh God is what I thought. But the ups, like he got height on that thing.
Yes.
Hit the twist and splash. I don't know if he did the twist and senton. I don't remember if he did the twist and senton, but I know he did the out 180 splash. That was terrifying. And
he's bigger than I thought he was going to be.
Yeah.
And for a guy of that size can move. And a guy of that size and that age can move.
230, 235. Yeah. He's a big cat.
Yeah.
But he can move. Yeah, he can move. Yeah, that was awesome to be in there the whole weekend. Like, first night was Speedball Mike Bailey, who's one of the top independent talents in the world. I don't care what anybody says.
For sure, yeah.
And then to be in there the next night, with Too Cold Scorpio, having some interactions with him and learning from him how beforehand, and as well, like, hanging out with him a bit over the weekend. He certainly wasn't one of those guys that just like, oh, I'm gonna hang out in my hotel room and just leave me alone. And no way, dude. He totally wasn't like that. Yeah. He totally wasn't like that at all. His thing, he said, was that somebody took the time to sit down and kind of show him some stuff. So who would he be to not, exactly. pay it forward?
Exactly.
Who would he be to not do that? So, you know what I mean? Like, I won't let anybody say a bad word about Too Cold Scorpio.
Absolutely.
And he was cool.
And even Mike Bailey, we were talking before we started filming, that you felt that you learned a lot from Mike and became a better wrestler because of wrestling speedball.
Yeah. Well, yeah. In ways, I mean, I know that there's certainly things about my game that I need to tighten up. Mm-hmm. And just being in there with him was just like, okay, now no more screwing around, no more. I'll get to it. No more. It's
Which is the way I look at it, the whole reason to bring those kind of guys in is to bring up.
Not that it should have taken that to light a fire under my ass, but if I want another opportunity at anything like that again in the future, whether it's there or in any other promotion, there's work I need to do. It's time to do it.
So
rest of the card?
Let's go ahead and review the card of member 2.
Try to. I have it written down here. So sorry, I should have had this up. Slack and take a screenshot of it. For sake. All right, yeah. So Richard Shinari.
Dick Darning.
Do you think that's Dick Darning?
I know it is.
Do ya? He took on Mikey Rave up in member 2. Mikey Rave, new to Wrestle Center. He's only done a couple of shows with him.
Yep.
He's got potential.
Absolutely.
I mean, when you're in there with the Richard Shinari, I mean, I not that I don't have confidence in Mikey Rave's abilities, but when you're in there with Mr. Shinari and you're tangling with him in the library, you're on his turf. So I don't think that match turned out too well for Mr. Rave. Mm-hmm. Then we had what I believe may have been the in-ring debut of Honest Rod.
Yes, I think he had a match in the show before, but it was kind of came in it was more of a promo kind of thing in the last show. So I think this was his first official match in Wrestle Center.
So I believe he took on Jackson Fury, I think. Maybe both nights. Mm-hmm. You're talking about Halifax.
We'll get to that next time.
Sure. Believe Honest Rod got the Duke in that one. He could have. I mean, Jackson Fury's got a little more experience than he does, but Rod's obviously got the size on him. Mm-hmm. So, up next on the card, myself and Speedball, mm-hmm. which, Al, he kicks hard. I kick hard. What's up? I don't want to give away what happened in that one, so I'm not gonna.
Okay.
Another guy that came up with the Montreal contingent, Ryan Rogan.
The Vagabond,
Ryan Rogan. He's no stranger to the Maritimes. He's bummed his way through here a few times before for various promotions over the years. So it was kind of cool to bump into him again, I suppose. Him and Julian Young had a good match. Julian had a bloody nose. I didn't see what did it, but I seen that his nose was all bloody, and that's really like the not to say that there wasn't anything good, but that was what I remember from that match. Was seeing Julian coming back with a bloody nose, and I was like, what the hell, right?
I've never seen a bad Julian Young match.
You won't.
I can't imagine it was a good match.
You won't. Yeah, you won't. Yeah. So, I believe next on the card, I mean, I have notes here. I don't even know if they're in order. I'm trying to put everything in order from how I remember it. But, Jeremy Prophet versus Two Gold Scorpio. And this match was announced, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's Prophet versus Two Gold Scorpio versus our boy.
Our
Chip
boy.
Chambers. Our boy. He's Terry's Chocolate Orange. he knows what I'm talking about. I think I was still trying to ice down. I was like putting ice everywhere. If there was like a bath or something I could have dove into of it, I would have, because I was so sore from the speedball match. I didn't get a chance to see a lot of this one. Prophet could have won. I assume Scorpio. Chip could have as well, I guess. I don't know. I didn't really, I didn't see it, but from, you know, a lot of people you talk to from in Halifax, what did they say about that match?
They said it was good, but I didn't get any sort of who won.
No,
I didn't get it.
Well, it'll come out on Voltage.
Yeah.
Make sure you watch.
Yeah, when you list those three off, I can't imagine it.
Yeah,
I imagine it stole the show. I can imagine.
I don't think of a stinker when I think of that one.
No, absolutely not.
Then in the main event, Matt Bullen, curious by his absence in member 2. He was not there. I was gonna ask him about it in Halifax, but he was focused. So leave that guy alone. So Lumberjack Johnson filled in the tag team match.
He's from Cape Breton, correct?
He is.
Yes,
yeah,
Lumberjack Johnson.
Yeah. So he filled in for Matt Bullen. I mean, they're both just rough and tumble, fight you at the drop of a hat dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, both of them just tough. Yeah. Lumberjack and Tommy Starr took on both the IHWC and the IFWA champions.
Right.
Nick Diggs and JP Sims, respectively. I believe Simulator JP can tell you.
Yes, so
there we go.
We'll talk about that in detail. I'll do it the opposite way. I talked to you about your match in Halifax and then review the member two show. With JP, we'll go over his match in member 2 and then review the Halifax show.
Yeah, that works. Formatting.
There you go.
So yeah, I believe that was the card. I believe Diggs and Sims.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very hot, responsive. They've been waiting a while. Member 2 was waiting a while for wrestling to come back. Could be more dates with Wrestle Center this year. Could be more dates with another promotion. I don't know. I haven't heard anything. I've been up there a couple times for that crew, but I haven't heard anything for this year so far.
Okay.
So we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah. Is there any upcoming dates you want to? Kind of plug here.
Yeah. As of this taping, and it'll probably air a day or two later.
Yeah,
maybe.
probably tomorrow.
Yeah,
Tomorrow.
We're certainly trying to get it out before Saturday, April 16th, because on Saturday, April 16th, I'm defending my Interprovincial Championship, my Vision Pro Wrestling Interprovincial Championship versus Fantana. This is one that I've been looking forward to for a while. We got in there in a tag match a little bit at the Cosmo show for IHW.
Yes.
Fantana thought he could get in there and tangle with Exile, and he caught the old kendo stick.
If you live in anywhere near is it Fredericton?
Fredericton.
If you live anywhere
Saturday, April 16th. Fredericton.
That match will steal the show. Make sure you get.
Well, maybe not.
Maybe not, but
Chip Chambers has his opportunity for the Vision Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship when he takes on Remy Petit.
Either way.
So that Vision Pro show Saturday, April 16th. Vision Pro Wrestling, Fredericton. If you are around or anywhere in the area, I think if you're not there, you're going to miss what could potentially be one of the shows of the year.
Absolutely.
I think so.
Couldn't agree more.
I think so.
I've never been to a bad one. So
yeah, the Vision Pro Wrestling shows are always super fun. You know, I'm so glad I've had quite a few of my first time matches there. I think I wrestled Titus for the very first time in Vision Pro Wrestling, Chip Chambers for the very first time, Dick Durning for the very first time.
Very talented roster.
Absolutely, it's kind of like the best amalgamation, sort of the some of the best talent around.
Right, and there's some guys that wrestle like in St. John Fredericton for Vision Pro.
IHW's doing a great job too.
Absolutely, but some of those guys you might not see them in like the Halifax area or
right.
So
yeah,
definitely there's very very talented guys down there.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
So Saturday, April 16th, Fredericton. April 29th and 30th. I personally will be up in Campbellton, New Brunswick, and then Miramichi for IHW. We're doing 2 dates, the 29th and the 30th. Campbellton, Miramichi. Mm-hmm. There may be something the next week, May 7th. Don't quote me yet, but if there is, for sure, I'll announce it on my Facebook page, or you guys will hear about it for sure. I can't say who or where, but could be May 7th. Mm-hmm. But for sure, and these are huge. Friday, May 13th, IHW makes its debut in my hometown, Truro, Nova Scotia.
For sure.
Very first time IHW comes to Nova Scotia, and they're coming to my backyard. So, for everybody, anybody, all buddy, bring you and your buddies and your dog and your mom, and bring them all. Bring them all to the show, the IHW show in Truro. Place. I'm not the person to announce the place. We'll let the IHW social media team take care of that. But it's coming up soon.
Yeah.
The announcement of the venue. So as soon as that, we're going to poster Truro like crazy.
Yes,
so I expect to see a lot of people out there. And even for those of you, Halifax, dude, it's an hour away. It's like an hour away.
And if you're currently an IHW fan from New Brunswick, or from Moncton, it's only an hour and a half.
I know you've been watching Unstoppable.
Yeah.
So. I know you've been. So come on out to the taping in Truro. Then the next night, Friday, May 14th, we're going back to Moncton.
Lions Club, I believe.
I believe it's at the Lions Club, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, like...
Little busy coming up. I've been on the road for a couple weekends straight already, so...
Yeah, like I said, Maritime Wrestling blowing up this year.
It's just heating right up. It's heating right up.
I definitely want to talk about that Truro show.
Okay.
So this is not only first time in Truro, first time in Nova Scotia.
First time, yeah.
Yeah.
First time in Nova Scotia as well. So that's huge for me personally, because I remember saying, like, man, I'd just die to get one match in IHW, just one. And not only have I had one match, now I'm kind of thrust into the thick of things.
Yeah.
We did it on our own. We're going to take matters into our own hands. Now we're right in the middle of it with Exile in IHW. So to have that momentum, to be lucky enough to have, that billing and spot with the company coming into my hometown to try and promote the show, that's a big source of pride.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm really, really proud of that.
Yeah.
Like, man, come a long way.
There you go. A couple of things I want to make sure I touch on. Doesn't necessarily involve Shane, but I will be at the end of April. I will be interviewing Mr. Suave, Marcus Burke. He will be facing Matt Hardy on April 30th from the Spryfield Lions Rink. So I will be interviewing him that night. And then I don't want to reveal some of the other names, but I do have some very interesting interviews coming up in the next couple of months.
It's so hot. I can feel that heat.
But the only things I will say is that in the next few months I do have I'm going to have one of the top wrestling promoters on from the Maritimes. The top high flyer in the Maritimes will be on my show. And also a maritime wrestling legend will be on my show. So definitely stay tuned. Then don't miss out. So I think that's it, Shane, man. Appreciate you being on, and
thanks for giving me the opportunity to plug my Twitter and stuff.
There you go.
Appreciate it.
And
at the _Red Dragon SS. It's two D's, double D's. Red Dragon SS. Follow me. Don't follow me. Actually, if you see me out and about, don't follow me. But you're more than welcome to try and annoy me on Twitter. I need more people to try and do that. More followers. And Facebook page, Red Dragon Shane Stevens. Do it.
And
or I'll find you.
If you want to keep track of my podcast, you can follow me on Twitter at KevinTwist73, and follow my podcast Facebook page. And I post my podcasts on there all the time.
Buy Exile shirts.
Yes, and Chip Chambers.
And Chip Chambers shirts.
Yeah.
Buy all of the shirts.
Buy Chip Chambers shirts,
please.
So yeah, so that's it for us for now, and thank you to Shane for being on, and we'll see you next time.
Yes.